Hello everyone, this is Orkin, and I'm going to be casting a 2 versus 2 between myself and my teammate Cocuena, the blue Protoss. I'm going to be the red Zerg in the top right, my teammates in the top left. Our opponents are going to be the purple Zerg, Zerglin, and the cyan Zerg, Mary Lee. At the moment, let's see, let's bring out the production tab so we know what's going on. All of the Zerglings, or all the Zerg players, are creating a bunch of drones. I'm not exactly sure why the I'm not exactly sure what build they went here. This is the first time I've watched this replay. I'm very curious to see exactly how fast these Zerg players got out their spawning pools. I know exactly what build I build when I play. I usually go for a 9 pool when I do 2v2 matches. It seems to work pretty well. This guy has gone for a 10 pool. Or he's gone for 10 at the moment. They both have 10. So we learned from the scouting at this point that they, neither of them has taken a spawning pool yet. This player has now thrown down his gas early, thrown down both 2 gases early, and spawned up 2 extra drones to get 12 over 10 supply. I do that a lot of times. I did not do that this game. This game, I just decided instead to go for a 9 pool, as I said. So my spawning pool is about halfway done now. The purple Zerglin is just now saving up for his pool. He went for an 11 pool. And the cyan player also has just now thrown down his spawning pool at 11. Also, they went for a different strategy to get 11 supply, though. This player, the Zerglin, did not do the double gas expand the same, or supply little trick. My ally has a gateway and a forge on the way. I have 8 Zerglings on the way at the moment. I was expecting a Zergling rush, playing 2 Zerg players. I was expecting they were going to rush hardcore. I also have my queen on the way now at this point. My opponents do not have their spawning pools up quite yet, so they do not yet have queens yet. I like getting my queen out as early as possible. Those extra larvae go a long, long way towards your economy, among other things. I now have 2 more Zerglings on the way. My extractor is nearly finished. My opponent has a cannon being thrown up in the here right by his mineral line to help protect against the potential Zergling rushes that we were expecting Zergling rush. They did not Zergling rush. Not at all, in fact. We were very wrong in our expectation. I threw down a spine crawler. Again, still expecting Zergling rush. At this point, I think I start to tech up. Not entirely sure. I don't remember for 100% sure. First Z-Lot on the way out now for my teammate, Cocuena. Both of the opponent Zerg players have their queens out. The purple Zerglin has now thrown down a spine crawler and nearly has a bathing nest out. The lair is now being researched by Mary Lee. Excuse me. The bathing nest nearly finished now. The bathing nest is done, now just popped up. A spine crawler has gone down. Roach Warren now being thrown down by Zerglin. He's going baling roaches. Baling roaches is a pretty deadly combination, especially if done right. Balings versus Zerg can definitely do some damage. Populating the gas over here. Both of them now have taken both their gases. I have not yet taken my second gas. I throw down my baling nest now at this point. The cyan player also has 4 creeps on the way. 3. Wow, he has 4 spine crawlers on the way. 3 spread out here throughout his base, and then the 1 here in the middle. That way his mineral line cannot be harassed. That is actually very good placement on the spore crawlers. I might adapt that. I usually throw my spore crawlers down in this area just like I do my cannons, because the workers can go around them without interfering with the mineral harvesting really at all. My lair is now being researched. My banding nest is nearly finished. Spire on the way from the cyan player. He canceled and no, I'm sorry, he did not cancel. 2 gateways just now finishing for my ally. He is 3 gate at the moment. I'm sorry I missed the cybernetic score going down. He does have cybernetic score. 4 banelings on the way by me. I'm expecting Zergling or a rush full of biological units. Ground forces fairly soon. I'm pretty sure that before too much longer, I'm going to send out a bunch of scouts and find out what's going on. My lair is just now finishing. Another hatchery being thrown down. The expansion is being taken here now by Zerglin. Excuse me. Another warp gate technology being researched by my ally. 5 banelings is on the way now from Zerglin. Another queen being produced to take care of this. An expansion being thrown down by the Cyan. Zerg. Flyer attacks level 1. Banelings speed upgrade on the way, and 3 Mulisks being spawned by the Cyan opponent. I'm sorry. Tunneling claws now being researched for the roaches. Looks like gateway research is nearly finished. I am now getting the centrifugal hooks for my banelings so that they can roll around as well. Rolling banelings are fantastic. I've spawned up some creep tumors. I'm going to try to spread my creep around a little bit now. 2 stalkers being produced now by my ally. And his expansion is now gone. My expansion has gone down. Alright. Roaches, banelings being researched by Zerglin. Looks like these mutas are going to come over here and stop my scout. I scouted with some Zerglings, so I have Zergling. Sorry, I have only 1 Zergling down there. I just wanted to check to see what the front door looked like. So we know these expansions are going down. I tell my ally we should attack very soon because these expansions have gone down. We need to stop these expansions before they get populated. Neither of these expansions are doing anything yet at this point. My expansion is is just now going down, or just now about to pop up. But I have a lot of drones here. I don't think I have anywhere near as many drones as they do, though. Let's look at income tab for the moment. I have the same number of drones as the Cyan Zerg. The purple Zerg has a few more drones than I do at the moment. Curious about APM at the moment. Purple Zerg has a lot of APM. Pretty surprised by that. Level 1 air attacks now being finished. That explains a lot to me. Those attacks do... air attack does phenomenal amounts of damage. I probably should have moved this spine crawler up to here, like my opponent did. But I left it back here. I wasn't too concerned. But it would have been a wiser choice, I believe, actually. Let's see. Wow. 7 Mulisks. Now owned by the opponent. We do not yet know about the Mulisks. I believe that I send in some harassment at this point. Excuse me. Looks like we're going to... I'm sorry, I do know about the Mulisks at this point. I'm sorry. I did know about the Mulisks because of the Zergling. So I throw down 6 spore crawlers, rather. Throughout surrounding my mineral field, so that if the Mulisks do come here to attack, they will be massacred by the spore crawlers. The Zergling speed being upgraded by my opponent. Carapace level 1 being upgraded now by me. I'm hoping to make my banelings tougher so that they can cause more damage. I sent out another Zergling to go scout and find out what's going on here with these expansions, because, you know, we don't know. I'm also curious what kind of forces that Purple has. Zerglin, I don't know yet what Zerglin is up to. I know that the Cyan player has gone Mutalisk very quickly, as he can, trying to get that early Mutalisk win. So at this point, I believe I very quickly now get some kind of response to that by getting air units of my own. Those Mutalisks coming in and taking care of my scout very soon. Still have not seen anything of what I did manage to actually see these units as I ran by, so I know that he has a Roach Baneling group of units set up here. I believe I sent another Zergling in for more scouting information. Scouting information is fantastic. You'll notice I have this Overlord over here ready to do anything that I needed for. Zerglin also has an Overlord over here, however. I don't know if he's aware of my Overlord. I believe he probably is. No, he's not aware of my overlord. So he is. I have an overlord over here. He has an overlord over there. I'm not. Neither of us are aware of these overlords. At that point, I sent a group of units right in here. I sent. Not a group of units. I sent it Zergling right up the ramp. To try to find out what kind of units he has. I'm talking over microphone to my ally, and I have told him now what we now know what our opponents are doing. I also have, as I was talking about the scanning ability, I also have an overlord sitting right up here. Both overlords ready to go scout as soon as I finish this upgrade. I did not. I went for the burrow upgrade before I went for the overlord speed, simply for the fact that I wanted to be able to. I didn't actually do it, but I wanted to be able to bury banelings throughout the map. I really like when I am facing a biological ground force to have banelings sitting about ready to explode and destroy things. Flyer Carapace level 1 now from our opponent over from the Bliss Iron. Void Wraiths and Zealots being produced by my ally. I'm getting Zerg Ground Carapace level 2 now. Burrow upgrade nearly finished. There are a lot of Mutalisks here now. He now has a group of, let's see, I can't hotkey. It looks like he's got 9 Mutalisks. I'm sorry, not 9. Make that 17 Mutalisks. 9 and 17 are quite a difference in numbers. I miscounted there for a moment. He has 17 Mutalisks. That is a lot of Mutalisks to deal with. I really don't have any kind of a force at all right now. We really don't have any kind of a force at all. If they were to attack right now, we would have been in some serious trouble. But that's where the scouting information comes from. We know that they are ready to push out at any moment. However, they have not yet pushed out. I'd spawn down a changeling right here, and send this Zerg changeling in to do yet even more scouting. It's funny, his speed upgrade on his lings allowed this scout to move quicker. So I'm now able to get in here and come up inside his base, find out exactly what's going on with this player, and know everything about him. At this point in the game, I know exactly what he's got. I guess I don't know his upgrades, but I do know what he's got as far as units are concerned. Check to see if there's any creep going out further. Maybe I have kid over there. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to yawn there. It is currently 7 AM. I've been up all night playing StarCraft. So you'll have to excuse the yawn there. I come down here to see exactly what's going on with these expansions. And then I believe I go up into the Sign Player's base, find out exactly just how many Mutalisks there are. There are now, holy cow, there are currently 24 Mutalisks going on there. Anyway, that changeling gave me a lot of scouting information. I know exactly what's going on with these players. These Mutalisks are moving out. I know that these Mutalisks are moving out. Or I guess I don't know the Mutalisks are moving out, but I do know about the Mutalisks. These forces moving out, though, now across the map. They are getting ready to attack us. Very dangerous situation for us to be in. They attack my ally entirely. This large group of units, I immediately respond to this large group of units by spawning up a whole bunch of corruptors. I believe 8 corruptors is what I spawned. Yes, I spawned up 8 corruptors immediately. 8 corruptors against these Mutalisks are not going to be a whole lot, though. Anyway, my ally is able to scare off these Mutalisks with this force of stalkers and these Void Wraiths. These Void Wraiths definitely scared them. And then my ally pulls back. I come in here knowing that he's going to be going after the mineral line. With my corruptors, I can bring them right back here into the very back of the base. Oh no, I'm sorry, I don't bring them right back there. As soon as I see that he's attacking minerals, I bring my corruptors back. He did manage to kill almost just about all those probes, though. Anyway, I am fighting off this attack with these corruptors. He knows he needs to get out of this just because of how much damage these corruptors are going to be able to do to him in comparison. Very, very dangerous corruptors. My ally is now moving out to attack. I tell him that he definitely should push the attack because, you know, we're in a great position. We just destroyed into all of the purple players' ground forces. They no longer have any forces. Phoenix and Void Ray on the way from my ally. The Sign Player now spawning up 4 more Mutalisks, getting out the Flyer Carapace level 2 is nearly about halfway done now. He manages to kill off all of my corruptors there. but I do believe that I respawned fairly soon thereafter by spawning up a bunch more of some sort of area unit, probably Corruptors. I do, yep, right there, I go and spawn up 9 more Corruptors. 9 Corruptors now on the way for me. Our opponent here still has 9 Mutalisks and 4 more on the way to reinforce, so he will still have a slightly larger group than me. That Nexus going down, big loss, 400 mineral loss there for us. Let's look at the units lost tab here for a moment. Resources lost, I have lost the least. My ally has lost the most. Quickly followed up by the Science player. My ally was just attacking there, or is just now attacking here. But the purple, both of our enemies have lost a lot of units. I have hardly lost any. The only units that I've really lost at this point in the game were the Corruptors that I spawned out to counter all these Mutalisks. I, at this point, have made 8 more Corruptors. I'm sorry, I believe I did make 9 Corruptors. Maybe I miscounted here. No, there are 9 Corruptors here. I tell my ally to move back, and then at this point, I tell him to push forward again, because I just told them to move back and wait for the Corruptors to help deal with the Mutalisks, because otherwise it is awfully more Stalkers and whatnot. Zergling's moving in. At this point, I tell him that we really need to regroup and reinforce, I think. He's got another Void Ray in here. A bunch of Zerglings trying to come out here and destroy things. I believe that that Void Ray just gets obliterated. My Corruptors start just getting melted away by these Mutalisks. But the Stalkers coming in here and scaring those Mutas back. I wish there was more I could have done here with these Corruptors to help out. There really wasn't a whole lot. I don't really think that it makes a lot of sense to micro the Corruptors to corrupt Zerglings. But anyway. Wow, lots of a Overseer now being morphed by our opponent. These Zerglings, or these Mutalisks, still causing massive amounts of damage. He has decimated our forces here. I don't know if I pull these Corruptors at this point. I do believe I retrieved the Corruptors. 2 more Corruptors go down. I tell my ally we need to pull back. He gets scared off by more Stalkers, but I do tell him that we need to pull back and regroup before we try to attack. I now have Mutas of my own. Let's bring that production tab back up so we know what's going on. A bunch of Stalkers being produced here by my ally. 14 Zerglings on the way from me. 8 Mutalisks all the way from our opponents. Excuse me. I apologize for the yawns during this video here. More roaches, Mutalisks on the way from our opponent roaches. I'm building up more Corruptors now, a whole bunch of Zerglings being spawned up. Hoping to create an air force of my own to try to counter the other Zerg's air force. I'm also trying to create a ground force to help back up my allies' ground force. I created a bunch of Zerglings to help try to deal with the other Zerglings. Because Zerglings for Zerglings with Stalkers to back them up, the Zerglings with the Stalkers to back them up is going to win out, obviously. Because the Zerglings that I spawned up were simply just meat fodder. I had 2,000 minerals and not enough gas to spend it on. Or not enough gas to match it for my Mutalisk army. I was focusing on trying to handle the Cyan player. He was worrying me a lot with his massive Mutalisk attack. At this point, the Cyan player now has 11 Mutalisks. Excuse my lag there for a moment. Holy cow. I have 7 Mutalisks and 7 Corruptors, so I have 14. So we have about the same size Air Force at the moment, except mine is more Corruptor heavy than his is. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that I have an equal for... I'm sorry, I miscounted again. Make that 19, not 17. So he has a slightly larger Air Force. I spawn out some Hydralisks to, again, help deal with these Mutalisks. They move out with another attack again. Zerglings and Roaches coming toward us. They are hoping to make a push here. My Zerglings, I micro my Zerglings, if I get the Zerglings to come out, try to take up most of that damage, and didn't really lose very many units there. I probably lost a couple Zerglings, but it's always good to allow the Zerglings to soak up damage if possible. And getting this around there, picking off these Roaches, these Corruptors coming in here, all of my massive air battle going on here. I'm definitely losing this air battle. However, even though I'm losing the air battle, the Cyan player is forced to retreat simply because there are so many Stalkers. Oh my, those four stalkers that are getting picked off. They got separated from the group. Feel sorry for them. My opponent now dwindled down to only having 14 rather Mutalisks. I told my opponent that we needed to wait again because I needed to queue up more of an air force. I believe I'm queuing up Mutalisks at the moment. I know that we need something to deal with those to deal with that air force. I tell him to move out at this point because I know that these mutas are going to be able to easily catch up to us. At this point, I do believe, yeah, they've been hotkeyed already by this point. So it was fine for them to just sit there for a moment. We are moving out now. Our air force moving in first. Harassing this overlord a little bit. I come over here, do a little bit of harass of my own, getting the attention of his air units, pull mine back immediately, and then we ended up getting really good positioning here. Pick off a couple of units pretty easily. Pull back into our units here to deal with these zerglings. These mutas of mine being fantastic for helping deal with these zerglings. I let my hydras get surrounded and just soak up all that damage for my ally at the moment, because I know that these stalkers are what are going to win this game. Following in on that, pulling back when we get to the edge here because we don't want to lose. We really don't want to lose air units if possible. I believe at some point here, 24 more zerglings being drawn up down here by the ally. He is definitely trying to just do something about this ground force. We are moving now into these expansions. I believe I told my ally we need to start taking out the gas because that's what they're doing. These three hydras, terrible positioning on their part. They were out here in the open and just got really decimated with that surround. However, they did manage to move back into position to protect all these stalkers. That extractor going to go down. Lots of mutalisks now moving in here. Trying to do something to defeat this army. Blinking away a little bit, coming back in, doing more damage with these stalkers. Very good micro by cocuena there to control those stalkers and get them out of there, away from the mutalisks. These mutalisks are able to just melt these stalkers away, especially with that level 2 attack. Level 2 attack is devastating. I built some more zerglings of my own. At this point, I'm trying to get something happening with some economy and get some more larvae spawning out because I did not have enough larvae. I send out zerglings, or I have a swarm of zerglings now ready to attack. I told my ally that we should retreat and regroup once more because these mutalisks were slowly building up a stronger force than these stalkers were, and he was just starting to pick away our stalkers. And that's not acceptable. It's not good to have stalkers being picked away. I told him I was going to go check to see what the front door looked like after that attack. So I sent in these group of zerglings. I figured that I could afford to lose them. I also took the opportunity to morph 12 of them into banelings because I know that once I get to this point right here, my banelings are going to fly across the creep just because that's what banelings do on the creep. These zerglings are also going to just fly across this creep. It's amazing how fast units move once they get the creep. Look at those banelings. Roll right down that hill. Moving right on in here. Moving on in here. I'm after that extractor to make sure that he doesn't get the gas. I notice that there's nothing there, so I move my baneling force over here, blow up all of his zerglings, move my banelings up into his base rather. Take out that spine collar. I have 3 banelings left. I bring those 3 banelings over here to all of these workers, and I blow up as many of the workers as I can along with those zerglings. At this point, I don't think that Purple has anything yet. Purple has an army of 325 minerals. I only have an army of 900 minerals at the moment, which is a little bit small, but it is 3 corruptors at the moment. I move all of these workers. I notice that none of them are doing anything, so I start to move all these workers down here, thinking that I'm going to expand down here. And I get the workers about halfway there, and I notice that there's nothing happening at my expansion, except a little bit of gas mining. So I send a large group of these drones immediately back. At this point, I send drones out all over the place, throw down expansions. I send out drones to scout. We know about this expansion now. This drone gets here, we then know about this expansion, so we know that they are trying to expand out to our left and to the left side here and get some sort of advantage on us, especially with this. Sorry, never mind. I'm thinking of a different game, but yeah. Anyway, that hatch rate did finish. large group of stalkers sitting out here right outside, waiting on my Mutalisks. I told them then to attack, because I know that my Mutalisks will be here in just a moment to help attack him myself. I did see this large group of Mutalisks of his move out. I told him to get out of there at this point, because I know that there are going to be things on the way. There are banelings now coming up into the base here. A group of, looks like 10 banelings coming in here, trying to blow up some of these stalkers, getting a couple of them. I tried to get my Mutalisks in position there to do something about it. More banelings coming in here. Stalkers blinking away. Stalkers getting caught here on the ramp. These stalkers are not in good position. Oh my, these stalkers are in deep trouble at the moment, blinking away back to the base. Wow, those stalkers were definitely in a heap of trouble there. I have Mutalisks of my own now. However, my Mutalisks I don't believe are as upgraded as his Mutalisks are. My Mutalisks do not have any attack or carapace upgrades whatsoever at the moment. My ally now blowing up those banelings as they try to move into his base. Our opponent over here sitting with, it looks like he now has 20 Mutalisks just hovering here. Very, very dangerous force 20 Mutalisks is. I sent another wave of Zerglings toward the front door to try to find out what's going on. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, and we really need to know what's going on, because especially at this point in the game, if we don't find out what's going on, then there's a good chance that things will get attacked and have trouble. I sent them over here real quick to make sure there's not an expansion going on. Check out what's going on. I take out this queen, because taking out his Zerg's queen is never a good thing. I move my Zerglings in a slightly better position to try to fight off their Zerglings. However, he does get this surround with the second group of Zerglings coming in there, and manages to defeat all of those Zerglings. Do tell him again that we need to attack this area. And then I do believe that I send my air forces here to try to help back this up, knowing that there are going to be... I wish I had known about these 3 Corruptors. Apparently I did not realize I had 3 Corruptors sitting here. I also completely forgot about this second hatchery. I don't think I did anything with this hatchery the entire game. I threw it up when I had 2,000 minerals, because I didn't have enough, there weren't enough larvae to dump my minerals into. My ally now expanding up here. I'm expanding down here at the bottom. A group of 5 Mutalisks now moving down here to the very bottom, taking out this overseer of mine. I have told, or the purple drone over here, I'm sorry, Zerglin's drone over here is now going to set up an expansion with the bottom right, and we are attacking the top left. I'm sorry, I missed that. We are attacking the top left here. This hatchery looks like it's definitely going to go down. This massive force of Mutalisks has retreated to the main base. At this point, we have said GG. Me and my teammate have said GG, because we are both confident that it is going to be a win. We have a huge advantage at the moment. I now have a force of 15 Mutalisks of my own. The opponent's Mutalisk force is only at 20, so he has not very many more Mutalisks than me. My Mutalisk is taking serious losses right there, however. Oh, I'm sorry, not serious losses. There are 5 Mutalisks over here. Coming to find this expansion. He immediately cancels it, which is a very good move on him to cancel it, knowing that it's going to go down. I then move this Mutalisk force into Zerglin's base. Kill the queen. I don't know why I thought focus down the extractor, but I did for a moment. I was thinking stop the gas, but then I realized after I focused it down for a moment, there's no gas here. So his Mutalisk coming in. I am pulling my Mutalisks away, running away with my Mutalisks. I did lose a couple of them to that. However, at this point, my teammate is now moving into the front of the base. But these Mutalisks are able to respond and get right back on top of him. Him blinking back, and my Mutalisks coming in here, scaring his Mutalisks back to try to deal with this, pulling back to deal with these Zerglings. This ball of stalkers is just really hard to stop. There's not a lot he can do. The Zergling's getting really good position, especially on that stalker there, but he blinks to mess up their positioning a little bit. Just destroying things now, taking out that Overseer and the Worker. Zerglin GG's and leaves. My teammate GG's once more, and Mary Lee has now left the game. We would have decimated whatever was left of their buildings and whatnot. Anyway, I thought it was an exciting game. If you look at action system in here at the end, you can see none of us are really good players, but some of us, we're all fairly decent. We've all got at least 30 APM going on there for an average. Income at the end here is very weak for all players. My income was starting to get back up. I would have been able to populate up this expansion pretty quickly. This expansion was nearly mined out. All of the gas especially mined out of that. I don't know what's going on with the drones right here. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, subscribe, comment, and I'll